Hey everyone, it's Woody again. This is Woody's Basic Tips number 9. The thing we're concentrating on today is TriTone Arpeggios. I have a couple other videos that are included in this that deal with a different subject matter and something that's very important, but the main emphasis that I want for this is the TriTone Arpeggios. And the tritone, as we know, that interval of a flatted fifth or sharp 4, very significant and important, especially in the jazz vernacular, but in composition as well. It has a history in either medieval or Renaissance music times. They were very aware of consonant and dissonant intervals, and it was actually known as the Diabolo de Musica, or the devil in music, so they thought it was a very evil sounding interval. But again, it's not the interval, it's how you use it. And we use it in many ways to move around in chord structures that sound very, very melodious and very consonant. So anyway, we're going to talk about the use of it in an improvisatory manner, and it really fits in very well with some of the stuff I've talked about before, the scale form that is half step, whole step, diminished or double diminished scale, which if we're in the key of F, sounds like this. And it's basically made up of a couple of diminished arpeggios together, and these. But if you take, as you'll see in the little clip that I've included here, if you take just a straight major triad, if we're in the key of F, and then you superimpose that flatted fifth or sharp 4. In the case of the key of F, it would be a B major chord. And you can utilize that. It fits very well with that half step, whole step, diminished scale form. And when you're using it on a 5/7 chord, the way we kind of use that tritone relationship is as a substitute for the 5/7, and many times, especially in the jazz context, that 5/7 might be a little bit altered. And so in the case of those scale forms we talked about and that arpeggio, those notes are kind of included. So we look at it as sort of a secondary 5/7 chord. So if you're playing an F as a 5/7 chord, it would be in the key of B flat, of course. So if we look at that, then we can superimpose that B and we are leading to the 1, which is B flat. So we would so it's kind of a resolving, kind of a tritone substitution chord to resolve to 1. Doesn't have to, but when you have those altered 5/7s, it's another nice device. So that's something you can kind of play around with as well. Hope this helps you. So hey everybody, I usually try to make sure these are as polished as possible, but sometimes the thoughts I have for these basic tips, this little series, sometimes that stuff happens in a way that I I may be off somewhere and not really in a good situation to do a video, but maybe even tonight here. But sometimes I kind of feel like, I have some sort of thing I want to impart, and that it has a little more importance than just technique or licks and phrases and things that apply to certain chords, chord qualities or and those are all part of vocabulary and things that give you more to choose from and make the right note choices in situations, musically and otherwise. But sometimes the higher priority should be a way to just make music. That's what we're trying to do. And so forgive the audio quality of this, not only the video I'm doing right now, but the video you're going to see right now, which was sort of done off the cuff in a bedroom while my wife was busy watching TV. So I just had some thoughts I thought were kind of important, and rather than redo it, I just threw this up here. So I hope the point is made in a way that you can understand, and good luck to all of you. Hey, I just had some thoughts about improvisation. Don't underestimate the power of that melodic line or the melody, and just do an exercise where you take perhaps the idea of an emotion and just play whatever you think represents that emotion. I'm not going to give you an example of what I do, because it's how I perceive it. But basically, when you're improvising, it's spontaneous composition. So however you see that, and whatever comes out of your instrument that you think represents that, it's a good way to stretch your imagination. And that's really the way that composers, especially for film, that's kind of the process many times that they go through. What is it they can write? What kind of music? What kind of lines? What represents sadness? What represents happiness? What danger? Any kind of dynamic thing, or any kind of a mood. Those are good exercises for you, and those things are what make, when you stretch your mind like that and try to find, take those boundaries you place upon yourself. So, I've been giving you a lot of techniques and licks and things like that. That stuff is just part of vocabulary, but you then have to utilize that and stretch your mind to try to go beyond that, to have some sort of music then happen. So, good luck. Thanks for tuning in again. Again, if you like this video, please like and share it. And if you feel led to, I appreciate it. Tune in weekly. I usually have another basic tips, and I'm going to try to continue to do that as long as I can. So until next time, groove on.